Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194, and appreciate you taking the time to visit and check out my video. And we're here at Oulton Park, and I had a request for a setup here for the McLaren 720S, and I ended up just sending him kind of a partial because he had a race that was real like within hours, and so it wasn't a proven setup. It was just something that was about half done, but it was still better than what I could do with the aggressive. So probably a little bit more on the conservative sides, but I mean I went ahead and finished the setup so that way because I haven't showed much love to the McLaren 720S, so figured it'd be something a little different. Please, any comments or feedback on that would be great because again, I really like to do stuff that people want to see. Try to throw it, not just one or two vehicles all the time. So I'm really trying to mix it up a little bit here and there. Please, like I said, any comments would be really appreciated about that. But anyway, we're just going to do a couple laps, and then we'll go just look at the timetables real quick and go over the setup, and I'll leave a link to the setup in the description. So let's go ahead and get this started. Jump in the car. Last lap was 134.86. Of course, like always, I started with 80 liters. It only takes probably about 75, 76 to do a 45-minute race. But I just do that off all the vehicles. That way I can start the same. I did not go over this curb. You might be able to even cut a lot of time off with that, but I just don't do good doing that. It seems like you're doing that just doesn't seem to ever gain anything with that other than lose pressure on my tires, so I just go around it, especially with a car that's got a pretty stiff chassis like the McLaren. And you get that big diffuser and all that back there. And I'm already touching once a little bit more than I want, so I don't want to lower the car in the rear at all anymore. That was a 134.65. That was my fast lap. Of course, you can see still has 71 liters. I did spin it once through here later in the stint, so the tires might have a little bit of more wear than they should, just because I spun it through there. Didn't hit anything, but just kind of messed that up. I could only get it with the aggressive. The best I could do with the same fuel load and everything else was like a mid 35. That's the best I could do. I couldn't, tires were all equalized and all that. That's about all I could get out of it. So I gained almost a second. So I'm happy with that. About good 8 or 9 tenths at least. So like I said, that's a decent gain. And I'm sure there's more there. This is just my first iteration of it, of the setup for this for Oulton Park, and I don't have a lot for the McLaren. So again, I mean that's why your comments and feedback are just gold, because that determines what I do or what I don't do a lot of times, and like I said, it really helps. So let's go back to timetables. And I had a couple outs. There's that one there that had that I spun and got back on. That's why it's so crazy time off. But you can see they're all 34s, almost about half, pretty much half the hot stint was 34s. A lot of good consistency, sixes, eights, sevens, they got into nines. And then even then it was, 35 ones, 35 threes, 35 O's. I mean, it was, it didn't drop off a cliff. It was pretty gradual, so I was really happy with that. Even at the end, it ran a 35-2 down here. And then this one here, I hit the last lap. I hit that curb on that chicane, that real quick left-right there. I hit, I think it was that. No, it was that bump where you, at the end, where after that, where you have that right-left right down there, down at the bottom, and I hit that bump right there, and it kind of messed it up a little bit. So it probably cost me, at least 3 or 4 tenths. So again, but I still think it's very consistent. Driver friendly is really, I was really happy with that also. So let's go over the setup. And a 26.5 left front, 26.1 left rear, 26.6 right front, and 26.4 right rear. The toe is negative 0.1 with the camber at negative 3.8 and the caster at 7. The toe is 0.15 on the rear with the camber at negative 3.2. I ran the excuse me, I ran the inner and outer the temperatures, not as far as the temp itself, but the basically the difference between the inner and the outer. I ran them a little bit tighter than I normally do. So, not much, just like maybe a degree. So, and the same thing with the rear is about the same. They're all equal. They're all about 5 or 6 degrees, all 4 corners. But I like it because it reacts a lot faster. When you have a ton of negative camber, it's like you got lag. It's like you have delay. You turn and nothing happens because there's so much negative camber that it just doesn't turn, doesn't react. And I don't like that, especially on a track like this that is so precise, where if you hit and miss this or you touch this, it can really mess you up. So I just don't prefer that. I mean, you could probably knock it up to 4, negative 4 if you would like, and it wouldn't hurt. I'm sure it wouldn't hurt anything. I mean, I don't know if it'll gain or not. You might gain a teeny bit, but not much. But like I said, I just did it for the reason that I like to feel better, and it's a lot easier to be consistent. And I need all the help I can get. Electronics is 3 and 5. Fuel, I mean, you can see I've done multiple stints or half stints or so and had made adjustments because things I didn't like. Yeah, see, flat spot light right there. So I guarantee that flat spot is from me sliding. So really the only thing it's got is light graining on the front, and that's no big deal at all. And I also like if you looked at the wear is really close. And I was working on that too. Look at that. I mean, the wear is very, very close. And I really spent some extra time working on that, trying to keep it as close as I can. So as the tires wear, it doesn't have any kind of crazy, it doesn't drastically change. At least it might change, but not drastically. Mechanical got 6 on the anti-roll bar, 55 on the brake bias, and you can turn that down to 54 at your discretion. 12 on the steering ratio. The springs in the front are 166,000 with a bump stop rate of 900 and a bump stop range of 5. And on the rear, the springs are 156,000 with a bump stop rate of 600 and the bump stop range of 30. Anti-roll bar is 5 and the preload of the diff is 50. And pretty much all that is pretty solid. I really don't see any majors gain there. I like 60. I felt really good at the preload diff at 60. I like the way it felt coming off the corners as the tires wore, but it just seemed like it cost a teeny bit of time, maybe a tenth or so. So I just let it at 50. The shocks are 18, 22, 30, and 32 on the front, and 19, 21, 26, and 30 on the rear. Aero is 52 in the front with 70 in the rear. And this is as low as I would go. I mean, you could maybe go lower if you want. Like you want go down 1 here for qualifying or something. You might be able to do that. because I'm trying to miss most of the curbs anyway. But even some of those real rough gator curbs, it still catches stuff. I mean, and it sparked, what was it, like 3 times or 4 times around the track. So I mean, especially when it had the heavy fuel load, like when you have, the start, when you got a lot of fuel in the car. Yeah, it did it more then. But I mean, so like I said, I really wouldn't lower it anymore, in my opinion. You're just asking for trouble. The rear wing is 6, and the brake ducts are 4 and 3. And the front aero variation is an 8.1 to the positive. And of course, I will make this a setup and put the link in the description. And I also have a PayPal link in the description below this, that if you want to help support the channel, I would really appreciate it. And I say thank you to everybody that has. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. Any help is greatly appreciated for trying to do stuff that I want to do, upgrades for the channel. And I really would appreciate it. And any comments, again, I love talking to all my friends, which is all of you. And I enjoy it. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can, if I don't get back to you right away. And I sure hope you give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. And I hope you come back and visit really soon. Y'all take care. See ya.